All right, haves and have not fans. Now, in my opinion, these are the top 5 fights in the series. There were a lot of fights going down, but these are the ones that come to mind. And, after looking through various episodes, these were the ones I wanted to, hand pick and go, you know what? These are pretty good scraps going on. Now, the first thing, honorable mention, even though I forgot their names, I did not write them down, but this was the fight that took place later on in the series. This is one of the last fights in the haves and the have-nots. It was between the two henchmen who were hired, or hitmen or assassins. One hired by Jim to get Veronica, and the other one, I believe, was hired by Veronica to tail the hitman that was hired by Jim to kill her. And these two had a parking garage fight. And it was one of the best in the series. I mean, it didn't make my top 5, but I had to talk about this one because of the fact that it was one of the best choreographed fights in a Tyler Perry show that I believe I've ever seen. From the back and forth between the two combatants to the camera angles. And the fight was so drawn out and so good that it got to the point where they're like, look, I don't want to kill you, man. You're really good. And how much are you getting paid? And the conversation shifted from, I'm going to kill you to get this check, to like, wait. How much are you getting? How much are you getting? Wow, she's paying you piss poor. I mean, that's nothing compared to what I'm being paid, to kill her. So I say we join forces and we split the bill. Like, you don't kill me and I don't kill you. You tell Veronica that, hey, I killed the guy. You're safe. And then we work together and kill her. And we can split the bounty that I got from Crier to kill her off. So we'll be good. You're too good to just kill like this, so we should work together. And they do just that. So that was definitely one of my favorite fights in the series. All right, number 5. Now, honestly, this was a fight that has been building up since early in the series, but honestly, I don't feel like the brawl itself truly lived up to the hype. And number 5 is Hannah versus Veronica. This is late in the series. I mean, I'm talking the last handful of episodes, and Veronica just got her ass beat. Simply put, I mean, it was kind of sad. You would think for all the talk, all Little Miss Hannah and whatnot, but Little Miss Hannah brought those hands. She was beating the hell out of Veronica. Seriously, I mean, there's nothing else to say about it. Number 4, one of the best ones and ones that make me laugh, Candace versus Quita when they were both locked up in jail. They had the same cell, and Quita just kept running that mouth. My brother, he loved you. You know how stupid that is? He beat you because he loved you. You know how stupid that sounds? And it's like, well, what about your son? Damn shame took him away from me, because at least when he was with me, he was alive. And Candace kept warning her, it's like, Quita, keep talking. I think first she took her heels off, then she took her earrings out of her ears, and then next thing you know, they got to scrapping, and she was beating that ass. So that was just, it was so bad that even Candace, when she was being restrained by an officer to break up the fight, she was just laughing because she kicked Quita's ass. Number 3, and this was a good one. This wasn't even a fight. This was just a beating. When Hannah set Benny loose on Jim Crier, Benjamin beat his ass. I mean, this is when Jim randomly popped up at Catherine's townhouse that she was letting Hannah stay at. And Jim was rightfully trying to get that, money, the inheritance. This is at a point in the series where I wasn't really siding with Hannah at all. I mean, the whole defending your daughter, not letting anybody speak ill of her. Well, your daughter and son have over $6 million that don't belong to them. So, yeah, if people are going to talk trash, they're going to talk trash. But in any case, he kept calling Candace out of her name, whore, bitch, whatever. And I think, Hannah pulled the coffee table back and let Benjamin have it. And Benny just rushed him, knocked him over the sofa, beat his ass, then drug him out on the street, and then, you know, threw him on the sidewalk. I can rewatch that scene over and over again when Benny charges at him. Number 2, from the series finale, Hannah versus Jim. My nephew loves this fight. He loves this fight so much. His favorite bit of it is when Jim, like, you know, kicks Hannah and she goes rolling down the stairs. But this was after finding Candace's dead body floating in the tub, and she charges at Jim, who, if I remember correctly, he had one arm in a sling. So this was one-armed Jim fighting against Hannah. And it was pretty wild, you know, from start to finish there. From Hannah going, "You son of a bitch!" because she was upset about Candace, you know, being dead. And the fight, you know, even though Jim only had one arm, it was pretty intense, you know, from Hannah's flailing and whatnot, and getting to the point where they made it from the top floor of the house downstairs, and Hannah's pulling every trick she can to get Jim to leave her be. But that's the thing, though. I mean, she was the one that rushed him, and then she was trying to escape a losing battle. You know, she went from throwing plant vases at him, and you know, it went outside, and he tossed her to the ground, and, you know, her lost shoe, she grabbed it and started beating him with it, and then she managed to make her way into the car, and he smashed the window, and then, you know, she drove off and then turned around to hit him, allegedly killing him, and that was the end of the series. But yeah, this was a pretty intense fight, you know, for what it's worth. So then we go to number 1. Yet again, another Hannah and Jim brawl, but the only difference is it is a tag team ass whooping between Candace and Hannah going against Jim. Now, at the time, Candace and Hannah really weren't seeing eye to eye, but they really did, you know, make a great team. This time, they were beating up Jim. I can't recall if it was for different reasons. I know that one of them wanted to get, you know, I think the hitman off of Benny, because I think it was, you know, the surgeon being the one particular hitman that was sent to stab Benny outside of the townhouse that he and Hannah were staying in. I think that Hannah was like, "Benjamin, until you return that money to the Criers, you cannot stay here anymore." And then he just sat outside with his box of belongings, and I think Mitch told his ass, "Look, man, there's somebody out there trying to get you. You need to go inside. Don't go out anywhere." And he got stabbed. And I think Candace was probably there too to make some sort of agreement with Jim. But regardless, Jim came in there, and in total Jim fashion. Well, actually, no, I think maybe Hannah was there to speak with Catherine, but she didn't know Catherine wasn't around. Was she in jail at the time? I forgot. But regardless, it was a situation where Jim ran his mouth, and as a result, I think Hannah started things off with a slap, and then they both jumped him. It was such a great fight. So with that being said, that was pretty much all I have to say in terms of the top fights in the series. Were there any particular brawls that didn't make my personal list, but you think should have, you know, or at least they make your top 5 list? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, take a moment to hit subscribe as well as the thumbs up button to show you like the video. And I will catch you in the next one.